Okay, for our hip airplane, we're probably going to use a stable object for support here. You can do these free of any support, but to start, let's work on range of motion and then build the stability on top of that. So you can use anything that's rigid, that's going to hold you in a position or just help you keep your balance. We'll go into 1 foot here. I'll start on my right foot. First motion is I want you to think about keeping this shin angle exactly where it is, so a slight bend in that knee. And then I want you to keep that shin at that same exact angle. So the knee can bend a little bit, but I don't want this shin pointing up towards the ceiling or pointing out more. Once we find it, as we come down, that shin angle should stay just about the same. Okay? So the first motion here is taking this floating side hip and think about dropping that towards the ground without changing the shin angle. And you should feel this opposite side glute start to stretch. So if I switch sides, I'm dropping this upside hip towards the ground. I'm getting a little bit of a stretch in this glute. I want you to own that stretch, kind of control it. Let it happen at your rate that you control. So don't just kind of let it drop through like that. I want every inch of that for you to control. So we're getting an eccentric contraction of that glute. And from here, we do the exact opposite. We're going to use that stretch. Think about contracting through that stretch. Again, we don't want that shin angle to change too much. And then we're opening up our hips towards the wall. So again, if I try that opposite side, I drop this hip. Try not to put too much weight into the object here, stable rack. And then I want to use that stretch to open myself back up. Again, feeling a lot of contraction and work through this hip, but we're also working at those end ranges of motion. So we're getting a ton of hip opening through here. Then we're using that same glute to open up and getting into that hip extension and external rotation through here. So great exercises for building mobility. But then we're also working those muscles at those end ranges and building in some stability.